Turning back now to the events in Kenosha and the many reactions from the sports world. Joining us now is NFL player Melvin Gordon, running back for the Denver Broncos, who grew up in Kenosha. Melvin, thanks so much for spending some of your time with us.
Thanks for having me.
You've played football in Wisconsin for the better part of your life, in high school and then the University of Wisconsin. What were your thoughts when you first saw that video of the shooting of Jacob Blake in your hometown?
It just instantly made me sad. My boy Trey Waynes, I was getting out of meetings and he sent it to me. He's like, bro, look and see what's happening in Kenosha. And I didn't think it was anything like that. And then when I seen it, it was just heartbreaking, and I instantly got sad. It just messed up my entire mood. And, not that it's even happening in my city, but just still going on after everything we've been through, everything we're trying to accomplish, as a whole, and to still see actions like this, especially back in my home, it's just heartbreaking.
Was it the right decision for the Milwaukee Bucks to take a stand Wednesday night and say they just weren't going to play? And what is your reaction now that many professional athletes have followed suit?
I was proud of those guys, especially, from them being from the area. Somebody has to make a stand. We have a voice as players, as athletes. We have a platform, and it's on us to use that. And as you can see, people are following along behind that, man. And we need guys like that to kind of step out that comfort zone and help to make change, because that's what it's about. So I'm glad that those guys did that, man, and that made me feel good inside, along with a lot of other people.
Melvin, I'm curious, are you considering not playing this season or sitting out a game even? And do you feel like your teammates should do the same?
That's a conversation that need to be had amongst, the NFL and our own locker rooms, and us to come up, together with a solution and a plan. For me to just say that right now, wouldn't be the brightest thing to do, especially not talking to my peers and my guys. But like I said, that's a conversation that's need to be had. I don't think anything is out the question, but it's definitely a conversation that needs to be brought up and talked about.
You've said that you have never really had a personally bad experience with police, and in fact, you've interacted with some great guys, but that you still would feel a sense of fear if you were ever pulled over. Do you believe that this incident in Kenosha is indicative of some kind of systemic problem with policing, not only in your hometown, but beyond?
I think so. I think so. And just with the actions that you see everywhere, everyone's, if you're of color, I know you're afraid in some type of fashion. The wrong move, the slightest move, could be the last move you make, be the last time you see your family, anything. So, the fear I know is there. And I know if you're of color, no matter what, if you have any encounter with a cop, it's definitely going to come to your head like, okay, I have to be very aware and cautious of anything and everything I do at this particular moment, because it might be my last.
You've set up the Beyond the Flash Foundation, which I've heard has also set up some money to help pay for Jacob Blake's medical expenses. What's the goal of your initiative?
Just to bring some smiles, towards the community and towards him and his family. Me and Trey, as soon as we seen that, we was just like, man, we have to do whatever we can to help, whether it's giving back in that way or giving back in some other fashion. It's needed to be done, and that's what we're gonna do.
Melvin, Trump administration officials have called the NBA player strike absurd. Jared Kushner saying, I think what we need to do is turn that from slogans and signals to actual action. What action do you want to see, and do you believe a dialogue with the Trump administration is needed on these issues?
I think so. I think, it needs to be addressed in every fashion. It needs to be addressed. Right now, I just think everyone, we're trying to do what we can, at this point. And, what we're doing, sometimes it just don't feel like enough. But something needs to be addressed, especially in that order.
And finally, I think it's pretty clear young people like yourself are driving the change in this country. Today, during the March on Washington, Martin Luther King's granddaughter said, "We are going to be the generation who dismantles racism once and for all." Do you believe that this is possible?
I pray it is. I pray it is possible. You know, I mean, Martin Luther King was fighting this battle, you know, years ago, and here we are still today, still fighting the same battle. And, you know, if it doesn't bring change in this generation or my generation, hopefully the next. You know, I pray this ends, you know, eventually, because it's just not right, and this is just sickening. And right now, being of color is a hard place to live.
You gave a pretty emotional locker room talk to some of your managers and to your teammates. How was that responded to?
You know, just guys just having my back. You know, it didn't matter if they were black, white, they all had my back. And they showed that. They went up there, they spoke on, you know, their thoughts and their feelings about everything. And then after, even today, you know, they just, you know, getting text messages from coaches, from players, you know, even Roger Goodell reached out to me, and, you know, that meant a lot. And, you know, just being like, hey, look, we're here for you. We're behind you. You know, whatever you need, we gonna make it happen for you. And that's good to hear, you know, especially being in a new community, in a new place. It's good to know, you know, you have a great group of guys that's you know, that's behind you.
Absolutely. Melvin Gordon, thank you so much for sharing your time with us tonight.
Thank you.
Hi everyone, George Stephanopoulos here. Thanks for checking out the ABC News YouTube channel. If you'd like to get more videos, show highlights, and watch live event coverage, click on the right over here to subscribe to our channel, and don't forget to download the ABC News app for breaking news alerts. Thanks for watching.